What do we think of when we think of a great leader? One of the adjectives we often use is decisive. Now that can cause problems for us if we're dealing with crises or grand challenges. We can see the leadership role really as operating across three broad domains. We need to consider how this crisis or grand challenge will affect all elements of your organisation's operations. The key question is, what kind of crisis is it? And therefore, what kind of response is required?
Although there are often, quite simple answers to simple problems, they also have a knock-on impact. And I think categorization allows you to think about problems in a very specific way, but also to consider them more holistically as well.
So this is a problem for which there is, in fact, no clear answer. It's a problem which likely involves several interconnecting systems, and a problem which has either never been faced before or never been successfully resolved in the past.
Organizations either try to deal with directly or they try to engage with their knock-on effect. The question is whether they would merely bounce back or they will bounce forward and be more prepared for a new normal.
Thinking about responses to some of those grand challenges and trying to incorporate more diverse thinking and experiences into our industry and into our business particularly, to help inform clients and move forward in that way.
But also doing that without damaging their image and attractiveness to their employees. And that's that additional layer of change already in a stretched leadership team.
Grand challenges often lead to various tensions or paradoxes, so situations where it's more about balancing that tension than finding a definite solution.
It's that difficult trade-off decision that needs to be made by leaders. How do they still put people first but drive the business when people want different things? And I think leaders can address this by making sure they're open with their people and authentic, and making sure that they get that communication right.
Rather than making a decision for everyone, asking people, what do you think about it? Would you do it differently? We need to understand the whole landscape of different practices, different disciplines that we can draw on with respect to that problem.
So actually thinking about where your organisation sits, particularly if you're going through transformational change, what are you transforming to, and who are the connectors, who are those people, who are those organisations that you might be linking and partnering with to actually be improving your offering or changing your organisation.
So it sounds remarkably simple, but the most powerful way to harness all of your employees when they're going through this uncertain, unpredictable time is to be really human.
Making sure people feel safe, able to contribute, able to collaborate within the team and across the team, and making sure that everybody has a voice.
As leaders, we can often be thinking about the outcomes we're trying to achieve rather than actually sitting down with people and actually appreciating the situation that they are facing and acknowledging that situation and carrying that forward into our decision making.
Enhance the capability, the adaptability of everyone in the organisations so that everyone feels a part of the new situation and that everyone is able to work on creating solutions, so it's not just going up the hierarchy.
When the crisis happens, the one leader doesn't have enough knowledge to solve it. Usually it's a community of different practitioners with different expertise. We need to start building that team earlier.
With a wicked problem in which there are several interconnecting and dynamic factors involved, we mustn't as leaders strive to make a swift decision. That would be exactly the wrong thing to do. Instead, we need to consult really widely. We need to analyse, we need to consider, we need to weigh up priorities and alternatives. So consider all elements of the organisation and refer back to shared organisational values.